Once upon a time, in a peaceful village, there was a little girl who lived with her mother in a cozy cottage. The girl was kind and joyful, and she loved wearing a bright red cloak with a hood that her grandmother had made for her. She wore it so often that everyone began calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother called her over with a special task.
Little Red Riding Hood, your grandmother isn't feeling well. I've packed a basket of goodies for you to take to her. Be sure to stay on the path and don't talk to strangers.
I will, Mother. I promise to be careful.
With a cheerful smile, Little Red Riding Hood set off through the forest, her red cloak fluttering behind her as she skipped along the path. The forest was dense and full of life, but Little Red Riding Hood was not afraid. She loved the forest, with its tall trees and singing birds. But as she ventured deeper into the woods, a sly wolf suddenly appeared from behind a tree.
Good day, little girl. Where are you off to on this fine day?
Good day, Mr. Wolf. I'm going to visit my grandmother. She lives in a cottage at the edge of the forest, and I'm bringing her this basket of goodies.
The wolf's eyes gleamed with a cunning plan.
What a kind girl you are. But why not pick some flowers for her as well? I'm sure your grandmother would love them.
Little Red Riding Hood thought this was a wonderful idea.
That's a great idea. I'll pick a bunch of flowers for Grandma.
While Little Red Riding Hood gathered flowers in a sunny clearing, the wolf hurried away, racing through the forest to the grandmother's cottage. He arrived quickly and knocked on the door.
Who is it?
It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some goodies.
Thinking it was her granddaughter, the grandmother opened the door. But as soon as she did, the wolf pounced, locking her in the closet and putting on her nightgown and cap. He climbed into bed, pulling the covers up to his chin. Not long after, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage, carrying her basket and a beautiful bouquet of flowers. She opened the door and stepped inside, but something seemed strange.
Grandmother, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I brought you some goodies.
She approached the bed, but when she saw her grandmother, she noticed something unusual.
Grandmother, what big ears you have?
The better to hear you with, my dear.
Grandmother, what big eyes you have?
The better to see you with, my dear.
Grandmother, what big teeth you have?
The better to eat you with.
Just as the wolf was about to pounce on Little Red Riding Hood, the door burst open, and a brave woodcutter rushed in, axe in hand.
Get away from her, you fiend.
The woodcutter quickly dealt with the wolf, saving Little Red Riding Hood just in time. Afterward, they freed the grandmother from the closet, and everyone was relieved and thankful.
Oh, Grandma! I'm so glad you're safe.
And I'm so glad you're safe too, my dear. Thank you, brave woodcutter, for saving us.
From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood promised never to stray from the path or talk to strangers again. And they all lived happily ever after.